London, and it's time to count down to 2020. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, how you doing?
We had the comfort of normality.
Hey guys, I think it's really important to spend this time valuably.
The continuous flow of day-to-day routine.
Let's have a look at this morning's papers for you, and we will start this morning with the Daily Mirror. Among the front pages to show a picture of Prince Harry.
The Vanderbilt Hall in New York's Grand Central Station is currently home to a full-size squash court. That is something to watch. The Daily Mail reports that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's staff at Frogmore Cottage are being moved to other duties within the Queen's household at Revelation.
Every hour segmented into easily digestible pieces.
Registration at 8, English at 10, lunch at 1, home by 5.
Knowing that when the day ended, we would always see each other tomorrow.
We took certainty for granted.
Are you scared of COVID?
I've got exams to scare me.
I mean, when are we gonna get this much free time again?
I sat in classrooms staring at the clock, begging the ticking hands to tick faster.
Dreaming about the next chapter of life. My plans for next year? Well, I've applied for uni. Warwick, Durham, Manchester Met, Cardiff and St Andrews. Now, I want to study English literature, then do a master's in journalism. I want to be a reviewer for Guardian. Part of me wants to do a gap year and go travelling. The new normal. Suddenly, the ground beneath us has crumbled away.
We knew there were cracks, but we told ourselves we were secure.
Not here. That isn't the kind of thing that happens here.
Don't be ridiculous, it won't affect us.
It's just a bad flu. Our little island stood strong and stable, impenetrable.
We survived the war. We can survive this.
Is it my fault? Did I ignore the warning signs?
Have you heard Wuhan's gone into quarantine?
It's just the media fear-mongering. I suppose it's easy to distract yourself. When the truth isn't convenient for you. When the reality doesn't quite fit in with your schedule.
The French fashion designer Jean-Paul Gaultier has said his next show in Paris will be his last.
Two, and one local man has
Love watching squash.
Murdered.
There are moments when it feels like this is it. I don't know which way is up anymore. I miss normal.
I miss hugs.
I miss when a cough wasn't an alarm bell.
I miss school.
I miss busy tubes. I miss when friends weren't just faces on screens.
Life is literally insane right
Which has
now.
taken place in the station for the last 5
But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be working on improving yourself every day.
This is it. In the interrail around Europe, Paris, Berlin, Rome, Budapest, why not India? I've always wanted to go there.
But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be working on improving yourself every day.
All I know is that the next few years are going to be the best years of my life. I miss when tomorrow was just a little more clear.
I ate 6 Magnums today.
Right. Well, that's sorry.
I don't even like Magnums, you know. But I kid myself every time there are Magnums in the house that I do like them, but I don't. I like chocolate, and I mean, like, it's all fun and games when you're eating that outside. But once you're done, you're just left with ice cream on a stick. And I'm not about ice cream on a stick. But I ate 6 today.
Sorry, I've been told by my boss that I have some session. My name's Rowan.
No, you are in the right place. It's a standard thing, really. Everyone does it in the office, just to make sure you've not gone completely mental. So, how are you?
Good.
Good. But like, how are you?
I'm fine, I guess. I mean, it's crazy.
Crazy, man.
But it's all right.
Is it though?
Look, I don't know what you're trying to do. I mean it's hard, but I'm not special or anything. It's hard, yeah.
Depressing? No, don't worry about it. It's so interesting listening to you. You're so small. It's adorable.
Small.
Not like small. I mean like just small in your presence. Look at the way you're sitting. You're literally closed. But you're not really. And see, everyone thinks I'm big and messy just because I say exactly what's going on up in there. I don't filter. But you do, and it's so interesting knowing that if we did just a little bit deeper, we can all see that we're all doing mental together. It's so reassuring listening to your internal monologue going ballistic instead of mine for once. That's why I took this position actually.
I think I'd like to leave now, so I'll just
Take it as it comes, Rowan. Nothing wrong with a little bit of madness.
After schools shut their gates from Friday afternoon, they will remain closed for most pupils, for the vast majority of pupils, until further notice.
Oh, you're kidding. You were here this whole time. I came home and I walked all the way back to Richard's house because I had to borrow a spare set of keys. I know. I should have knocked. You know, the pub in school's been shut, and apparently the guy who runs it wants to extend it into the playground because of ventilation or something, I don't know. I mean, obviously he's not going to do it when we're on school, but have you heard anything about it? A pub in a school. I find that really weird. I mean, no one else really thinks anything of it, and I shouldn't. Oh well, it's stupid, it's not going to happen anyway. Oh, my form tutor wrote us all notes. You're a bright cookie, Blake. I'm going to miss your smile. Didn't even think she liked me. Oh, you'll love this. So during PE there was a fight that was about to break out behind the sports shed between Reese and Jamie, and Reese genuinely tapped out because of social distancing. What a world. You know, I should thank her. I'm sorry, my form tutor. Yeah, I should. Today was really weird. Everyone was like going crazy, thanking each other, confessing their loves for one another, stressing over GCSEs. And then no, I was alright. I'm always alright. You know, Lewis was genuinely going around sticking post-it notes on people's foreheads. Like, that's crazy. But then again, it's not totally our character for Lewis. What was wrong to Richards? I was thinking about it. Like, you're literally flung into a building with a bunch of kids that you don't even know for what? 5 years? That's mental. 8 AM to 3 PM. It's basically your life. Until it's not.
Hello? Hello?
Hi.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Anyone else? Oh, hi. Hello. How's everyone doing? This is a bit weird, isn't it? Sorry. We no longer agreed. I am no longer using term in it. Right, so only 3 of us. Okay, no, that's fine. Right, please, get me up to speed. What's been happening? How's everyone been coping?
Well, the whole school thing for me.
I mean, at least it's less schoolwork.
Well, that's debatable.
I've been alright actually. I've actually been promoted in my new job. I have a client here. I would like you guys to meet. Her name's Rowan. I think she's in the waiting room. I think. Not
Let
sure
me.
if I can let her in.
Yeah, sure.
Rowan.
Hi there. Sorry. I was told I had this was a work meeting.
Oh, don't worry about it.
This breaks quite a lot of rules though.
No one needs to know. We're just a casual meeting here today.
Okay, so there's 4 of us. We usually have a few more faces at the community base, but this is fine. So guys, I'm thinking of what things we can focus on this year. Maybe fundraising for some COVID related charities. Blake, are you taking notes?
Yep.
Great. So what are you guys thinking?
Maybe we could get some new members. Seeing as it's all online now, it's more accessible for the neighbourhood, and it might be nice to get some kids from local schools. Everyone's online, so
I like that, and Rowan will join.
I don't even know your name.
Don't worry, it's fine. Shut up.
Okay. Anyone else have any ideas?
Listen, I gotta go. Got work to do.
Me too. I need to actually do my proper meeting now with Rowan.
Yeah, like we agreed.
Okay, well, this was really just an introduction of all sorts. So I'll see you next week. They've all gone, haven't they? Typical. Oh, I must get in touch with the local school. I think I know the receptionist. What's her name? Jackie, right. I hope she's all right. I'm sure she is. Well, lots of schoolwork to do, I guess. Oh, my roommate should be getting home soon, actually. She works at the hospital. She's been working there for like 6 months now. Yeah. I worry sometimes. There's a surprise in that, eh? No, but I do worry. We're good people. They're good people. And I didn't think about it much, but it's also scary and weird. And my job is to look after people and to make sure everyone's okay. But then the people, that's all I ever think about. I think about them now. Maybe I think about them a little bit too much because they're all really trying here. And I mean, some people, they try harder than others, and it annoys me. It annoys me a little bit too much because there are people like the church people and the supermarket workers and the key workers and my roommate, and they're all just really trying their best. And then there are these contradictions, and I worry. Gosh, I need to get my dinner on. What am I doing? Doesn't time fly?
影响呢，中国各地高校、中小学和幼儿园都延迟了开学时间。在今天召开的国务院联防联控机制新闻会议上，中国教育部
Mesdames, Messieurs, bonjour. Goedemorgen iedereen. We zijn nu donderdag 30 april.
The coronavirus is the biggest threat this country has faced for decades, and this country is not alone. You must stay at home. If too many people become seriously unwell at one time, the NHS will be unable to handle it, meaning more people are likely to die, not just from coronavirus, but from other illnesses as well. We will beat the coronavirus, and we will beat it together. And therefore, I urge you, at this moment of national emergency, to stay at home, protect our NHS, and save lives.
15 numbers on your phone. Lockdown was a very weird experience. I wasn't sure when we did actually get the countries going into lockdown. Looking back on it now, I think it's taught me a very important lesson. Learning to be
Au départ, il y avait de la panique. Tout le monde paniquait un petit peu. I can't. Parce que là, c'est un peu surréaliste, mais tout le monde le fait assez naturellement. En fait, on s'en doutait, je crois, sans se le dire. Et puis finalement, quand c'est arrivé, on faut les
We can protect our NHS and save lives.
May 2020.
Imperial College
London.
Report 22.
Equity in response of the COVID-19 pandemic.
There exists unfair or avoidable differences in health among different groups in society.
Health inequities. Stay at home.
Vulnerable and disadvantaged populations are at significantly greater risks of COVID-19.
Protect the NHS.
The importance of equity in COVID-19 healthcare decisions must therefore be carefully considered.
In order to maximise health and well-being universally.
Save lives.
6th of May. Epidemics in China, Europe and North America have indicated a strong age gradient in disease severity,
rising sharply from the age 50 years and above.
In response, many countries have recommended
that them at-risk groups protect themselves by social distancing.
We are the only people they have to talk to.
Boris Johnson admits there's a crisis in care homes.
They want me to take off my mask because they can't see me smiling.
A quarter of known coronavirus deaths in Britain have taken place in care homes.
It was scary, having to visit clients after they'd come straight out of the hospital.
The coronavirus death toll is now the highest in Europe and the second highest in the world.
Watching my uncle's funeral on a live stream was surreal. Comforting, but surreal. Watching my 10 family members standing in the distance lines, watching my dad walk in on his own, then have to stand alone, away from his family. It broke my heart. I wanted to grab him in my arms, hold him, but all I could feel was the coldness of my computer screen.
We need more PPE.
I haven't seen my family in 8 weeks. I became a year older in this care home. They rely on me.
We need more tests.
I have people I need to protect. I have co-workers on ventilators. I fear for the health of the people that we support.
We need more humanity.
10th of May.
The probability of death from COVID-19 consistently increases with increasing poverty.
7 weeks in shielding.
Boris Johnson outlines the government's plan to ease the lockdown.
At least 5 weeks to go.
And the first step is a change of emphasis that we hope that people will act on this week. We said that you should work from home if you can and only go to work if you must. We now need to stress that anyone who can't work from home, for instance, those in construction or manufacturing, should be actively encouraged to go to work, and we want it to be safe for you to get to work. So you should avoid public transport if at all possible, because we must and will maintain social distancing and capacity will therefore be limited.
Working from home is a luxury I don't have.
I rang up my work wanting to go back, but they didn't want any high risk of people working.
It's not just as simple as avoid public transport.
The choices that have been made are the ones better for the economy, rather than the ones that are better for the people and for the things that make us feel more human. I can help to kickstart the economy, but I can't see my family and I can't leave the house. I'm fed up, I'm bored.
At present, the worst affected countries are in Europe and North America.
Ready to do normal things again.
Where will my baby go when I go to work?
The COVID-19 pandemic has now spread globally, with nearly 4.2 million cases and 284,000 deaths as of the 11th of May 2020.
Where will I find the money for childcare?
There's lots of questions that people in the NHS or the Public Health Agency or the government want to know.
Where is the humanity?
22nd of May.
Revealed that Dominic Cummings has broken lockdown rules by travelling to Durham in late March.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cummings. Do you regret what you did? Because many people in this country have made heartbreaking sacrifices in the last couple of months in order to stick to the rules that you were part of putting together. And many people may have listened to you and think you made your own interpretation. And do you understand, for some people, it seems as if there was one version of the rules for you and one version of the rules for everyone else?
Thank you, Laura. No, I don't regret what I did. As I said, I think reasonable people may well disagree about how I thought about what to do in these circumstances, but I think that what I did was actually reasonable in these circumstances.
Each week you encourage the country to clap for the NHS.
Occupation and income may directly shape an individual's ability to social distance.
For our sacrifice.
Either through enhanced exposure in their employment.
Each Thursday, you clap for me.
Through their employment in a casual labour market.
That provides no safety net for unemployment.
But you don't feel our sacrifice.
For my household, things have been a bit harder.
That's one of the things that will stick with me for a long time, I think. It's kind of a pandemic-specific experience that maybe won't be repeated, but it sets the precedent of how little the government cares for us.
I'm struggling to keep us afloat.
What happened to we're all in this together?
Struggling to keep our heads above the water.
What if I can't afford a backup plan?
Struggling to protect our foundation.
What happened to humanity?
31st of May.
Nationwide Black Lives Matter protests commence in response to the killing of George Floyd.
A recent review led by Public Health England found that death rates from COVID-19 were highest among people in Black, Asian and minority ethnic groups.
I went to the protest at Hyde Park.
I joined the virtual one.
It was huge.
And a byproduct of quarantine is we've been sat on our phones.
There's a lot of things, not that I didn't think about, but I didn't think about enough.
Basically taught to, at the best of times, not trust the police, at the worst of times, completely avoid them, and at the absolute worst, make sure there's as little damage done as possible, physically. We can keep surviving, or we can keep up this theme of addressing issues that are happening now, so that we can aim to just be treated better as human beings, so that we don't need to ignore any issues.
I found it humiliating how little I actually knew.
It's like the end of a trial run in a way.
It was very much a spark.
Confronting my privilege was uncomfortable.
It's ignited now.
I felt nasty, sitting in that feeling.
It came up in a new intensity, a new fire, and it exploded.
It's been really eye-opening. I've learnt so much.
It took the world to stop before people to see before their own doorstep.
When will there be justice?
To get outside their own bubbles.
When will this stop?
When will there be humanity?
May 2020.
One issue came along and swept the whole world.
It affected each and every person.
No one has had the same experience.
But our problems are all valid.
No matter how large or small.
What doesn't affect you will affect someone else.
And what doesn't affect someone else will affect you.
It's been kind of a case study on empathy.
On how much we care for each other.
On humanities in times of crisis.
May 2020.
It's 1 PM and we bring you the news this afternoon that a female has died after a house party in Fulham, London. It is said that she contracted COVID-19 shortly after the gathering of around 50 people around 3 weeks ago. She died in hospital on Saturday morning. The gathering was able to be broken up after phone tracking enabled police to detect a mass gathering that broke lockdown rules.
I don't know what you want me to say. You wanted a party, so you put it on Snap. Told everyone to come. I wasn't part of it.
All the lights are flashing. Neon. Got one of those projectors that makes your bedroom look like a club. Got 7 mates. Got a bottle of vodka. 2 packs of cigs. There's some girl from down the road of Liam's, bro. Don't know the last name. But it's 7 PM and looking class. Yeah, it's gonna be a good night.
You haven't got any proof I was there. Hardly a crime, is it?
Perhaps not a year ago. Perhaps now it is. Perhaps they happen to know you were there. They can trace you now, track your phone, your Facebook, your movements. Perhaps not a year ago. Now they do. They can. They have. You were there.
I couldn't care less. Track me if they wanna. You think I'll lose sleep overnight with my phone's GPS?
We're talking to neighbour and friend of the family, 70-year-old Graham McLilly.
Must have been 50 of them by 9 o'clock. Packed out. The whole place. Makes you wonder why you shielded for 3 months when there's scum like that with no consideration. I hope they get the lot of them. Named and shamed.
No, I'm on speakerphone, Hannah. I'm driving. I got my provisionals now, haven't it? Back from A&E, at my wrist when I punched that bloke, didn't I? What? No, I'm not going to look at the pictures. I was there. I don't need evidence. No, listen, okay, it wasn't like that at all. Don't listen to that idiot, Scott. He's a mummy's boy, getting scared, saying lies to get himself out of it. Listen, Hannah, don't be upset with me. It was like this, alright? Listening? I got to the party and Scott had brought this girl. He was showing off to her, wasn't he? Starting doing handstands, bullying Liam for not smoking, all that kind of crap. He was the one who invited everyone. I told him not to. I begged him. I said, Scott, mate, the virus. What about the virus? We're not supposed to. Didn't listen though, did he?
I know you're my therapist, mate, but I don't know what to tell ya. I wasn't there. You hearing me? I was out that night, jogging, doing what you're meant to be doing. What Boris was on about on the BBC at his little table last week. 1 walk a day. Alright, it was a run. You want to call the police?
Yeah, and think I don't know that? Bruv, I Google shoes and an hour later Clark's advert comes up on my Facebook. You think I don't know I'm being watched?
So it's 7:30. Sun's going down. Street lights going orange and it's kicking in. I don't know who's had most, but Jamie starts going on about doing a headstand. Everyone in lockdown's doing yoga and he wants to do a headstand. So I ask him what he's on about. And he's hyped up at this point. So he gets down, tries to get on his head, and falls into the telly. Oh, smashes it. That girl Liam invited films it. Snapchat. She's pissing herself laughing and her map's on. The neon lights are on. Looks like we're having a party, doesn't it?
You've come to A&E because you did a headstand and fell into a TV? That's new.
Is it broken? It's bloody killing me.
You drove yourself here? I wouldn't have thought so.
So I won't need a new cast. No one will know it's broken, right?
They will if you try and pick anything up. It's sprained. You should be more careful. Coming to an A&E during an epidemic should have been last resort.
Yeah, whatever. You sound like my dad.
Yeah, you'll want to stay away from him for a bit. Hospitals are a hotbed. High risk you'll have caught it. Tell him why you've been in isolate for a while.
Graham, how do you feel about the researchers' ability to relay information to the government about the tracking of the public's movements during the coronavirus crisis?
They what? That's... I don't know, that's disgusting. I'll tell you what that is. That's an invasion of privacy. They're not tracking me. I'm not having that.
Why's your arm like that?
Like what? It's fine. Absolutely nothing wrong.
All bruised. It was like you're falling over. Get hurt running away when they came to break up the party, did ya?
There's nothing wrong with it. You're seeing things.
You want a cuppa, Sally? I'll need one for my nerves. You'll never guess what that man said to me. I told Harry and the grandkids we didn't need mobiles. All this about emergencies. Rubbish. We're being watched. That's the emergency.
Mum started freaking out. I mean, everyone was there. The whole lot of them. All my friends. And my mum standing at the bottom of the stairs in her furry Minnie Mouse slippers and a massive pink dressing gown. Shouting at me. I could have died. I was mortified. The sight of her. She was holding 2 cups of tea and shouting out, "Corey's on." And did I want to watch it like we normally do? Someone laughed. That embarrassment, I swear to God it made my blood boil. On 100 degrees. And embarrassment makes you go hard. My face must have showed it because Jamie pointed it out. That he swelled up in my head and I ran down the stairs and I called my mum every name I could think of until she cried and shut herself in her bedroom. Slammed the doors. Said something about lockdown and too many people. I said something about I didn't give a shit. Then slammed my own door and went back to the party and told everyone how much I hated her.
Researchers at Imperial College London have had the ability to track phones and monitor the movements and gatherings of the British public during the COVID-19 epidemic. They have worked with the government during the crisis, and this research has shed light to how willing the population has been to abide by the lockdown rules. Despite government and researchers reassuring public that all data collection retains individuals' anonymity, some remain concerned.
They all started smoking. Don't know all the lies or the pack. Before that Black Lungs advert, with the kids crying at the funeral, and the cancer in your throat. And I went hot again. With fair this time. And Liam rolled one up and Jamie laughed at him and called him an amateur when he found out he hadn't done it before. I laughed too. Said it done hundreds of times. I could hear the titles of Corey in the bedroom next door. So I went to the toilet and drank my tea in there and listened through the wall. Hope she wasn't upset. Hope she knew I didn't mean it.
Just be honest. Someone's died.
And no one had it at the party. She probably got corona from Asda or something. God, what is this, a police interview? I'm heading out.
You are not, young man. You're my son. I'm not having you cause any more embarrassment. That poor family.
It was her own fault. Track me if they want to. Boris can do what he likes. In fact, I hope he's doing it now. I hope they're watching my GPS now, which will be shortly showing me leaving. I haven't got coronavirus. You're paranoid. No one there had it. End of.
Yeah, son. I'm holding up. Got the Tesco's delivered. Sally's getting on with her knitting. You know, I got interviewed today. Yeah, that local news lot. About that party next door. You know what they told me? They can track your phone. Did you know that? They watch you. No, they do. Alright, they might not know who I am, but it's the data, isn't it? I don't want them watching me. It's a bloody invasion of privacy, is what it is. I won't have it. They couldn't do that in my day. You were off-grid. Free from the system. I'll lose sleep at night on my phone's GPS. I won't have it.
One saw it on that girl snapped it, didn't they? Tracked the location on her snap maps. Turned up. Must have been 50 of them at 9 o'clock. Mum cried with the okay. Show it at me. Started screaming when she was scared and jumped when anyone coughed. Said it wasn't allowed. I said, "You're paranoid. No one here has it. End of." Guess I was wrong.
It's 1 PM and we bring you the news this afternoon that a woman in her 50s has died after a house party was hosted at her address in Fulham, London. She leaves behind her teenage son, who hosted the party, where it is said that she contracted COVID-19 shortly after the gathering of around 50 people.